He's known as Virus from the DOC crew at disc.org. Disc.org crew, get it? Today, he's got the top 10 ways to keep ourselves safe from hackers. Rob Lupo is here, a.k.a. Virus. Actually, it's V-I-R-U, and the number 5. V1RU5. Yeah. You're in hacker elite speak.
Yeah, it's uber cool, right?
Do people kind of mock that?
Yeah, that's why we actually use it. Mostly,
it's a little tongue-in-cheek.
It's mostly to mock the script kiddies, because that's how they want. You know, they want to send messages like that. Who cares?
It's kind of silly, yeah. So, disc.org is what? It's a website.
Yeah.
Is it a group of hackers? What is the deal?
Well, basically, Disc.org crew. It's a group of different people of different levels of technology skills. We have machinists. We have people who are electronics specialists. And we basically tried to come up with different ways of creating new stuff.
You guys are white hat, though, right? For the most part?
Yeah. I mean, most of us now are security professionals. You know, we lecture, like I lecture nationwide on computer viruses, on network security, and so forth. And so we lecture all over the country, and we also, you know, enter contests and build stuff. And it's always just an excuse to drink more beer.
Your specialty is what?
Viruses.
Viruses. Fighting them. Well, actually, you know what? This is something we talk a lot about, but I would like to get from somebody who really knows your suggestions for protecting yourself against viruses.
Whew, boy,
I mean, obviously, there's a lot.
That's an hour-long show.
There's a lot of things.
Or a 45-minute lecture.
Which is normally what you do.
Yeah, I do 45-minute lectures on
we'll have most of them on the website, but let's get through as many as we can. Number one, you say use a hardware firewall, not a software firewall.
Basically, ways to protect yourself from hackers are... Read the shirt. You have hackers and you have crackers. Right. Realistically, the media likes to use the word hackers.
We don't bother with the distinction because it's too hard. Every time I have to explain, a cracker is
a cracker is the mischievous person, and the hacker is the person like me who basically knows the ins and outs.
Right.
We're not, you know.
We're all hackers here.
Yeah.
None of us are black hats. We're all white hats.
That's exactly right. Yeah. You know, I mean, so I guess it's easier to say white hat, black hat.
And hacker doesn't necessarily even imply a certain skill level.
That's exactly right.
We may not be proficient, all of us proficient hackers, but we all like to get in under the covers and see what's going on.
And that's really what it is. You know, I mean, a mechanic is a hacker of an automobile.
Exactly.
Right?
So let's say to keep bad guys out of your PC.
Well, one of the first questions I always get when I'm lecturing is like, hey, look, you know, I'm just this, you know, normal Joe, this housewife, that, you know, this father, this kid at home. Why would a hacker care about me?
Right.
And that's the problem I have. And I try to convey to these, you know, to these people, it's like, the hacker's not going after you. The hacker's going after your IP address.
They want to take over your system.
Yeah, they have no idea if you're a major company or if you're some guy at home. All they're doing is they're doing a huge port scan on a huge block of IP addresses, and you just happen to fall in there.
And what are they looking for? What do they want?
They're looking for vulnerabilities. They're looking for systems. And realistically, most of these guys are script kiddies. You know, most of them are just like people. Hey, I got the new script. Let's look for this one vulnerability. And what
in fact, often I don't think they know what to do.
That's well, yeah.
They rattle the door opens, they go, whoa!
Hey, I got it. Now what do I do?
See you later.
Exit. You know, it's like, you know, and they freak out. But
let's say we get a real bad guy, knows what he's doing. What is he trying to find?
Realistically, let me make one real quick point. No matter what you do, if a real hacker wants to get into your computer system, he's going to get in. I don't care if you have a $500,000 security system. If he really wants to get in, he's going to get in one way or the other. So there's no such thing as 100% security. What you are setting up is you're setting up different levels of difficulties for the guy to sit there and finally just get bored and quit and go someplace else where it's easier.
The perfect analog is anybody can get into any home.
That's exactly right.
But you lock the door.
You lock the door, you set the alarm, and he's going to bypass you, go someplace else where it's easier. So one of the things I mentioned is get a hardware firewall. I mean, there's also...
You say hardware, not software. Why?
Yeah, and realistically, the reason why I don't... Software firewalls are great, especially like I have a laptop and I have a software firewall on my laptop.
Because you're all over the place.
Because I'm flying all over the place, and I'm not going to carry a hardware piece with me. But these software firewalls succumb to the same vulnerabilities of the operating system.
Right.
Okay, so it's only as secure as the operating system it's running under. The hardware firewalls usually have a proprietary OS, so it's a little bit more difficult to get through.
They're completely different beasts.
And it's not that they're not, you know, susceptible to different types of hacks, and there's some vulnerabilities, but you know, it's good to get a firmware update and keep those going.
But there are fewer. Now we should say.
And I'm not talking about again like a Linux router that has firewall type capabilities.
Any broadband router, a Linksys, a SMC.
Go one beyond that. I mean,
even more than that.
Yeah, look at like Nokia has a nice personal home firewall. NetScreen has a great little home firewall. SonicWall has a nice little home firewall. They're about $200 to $300, which seems like a lot, but realistically, if you're trying to protect your internal data, they're great because they have built-in DHCP servers. So they do an internal NAT, which basically means that you have non-routable IP addresses on the internal network. So people coming from the outside coming in
Right.
won't be able to see the individual machine.
NAT is really,
NAT's-
in and of itself,
NAT's
probably
wonderful.
the best you can do.
Best
best start, let's put it.
It's definitely a must-have.
Yeah.
It's definitely a must-have. It's not a prevention, but it's definitely an obstacle.
Rob, there are many more tips. Good antivirus, anti-hostile code app,
Right.
passwords, make sure they're good, watch your Wi-Fi. All of them on the website, thescreensavers.com. But we ran out of time. You come back. You're local, so
Hey, I'm local.
please come back. We'll talk some more about this.
Absolutely.
There's never enough time. There's never enough time to talk about what needs to be talked about with security.
Absolutely.
It's something we
Absolutely.
could talk about over and over again, and we will with you. We'll have you back. Thank you, Rob. And good luck. Dis.org is the website. Lots of cool stuff there. It's a fun place
yeah.
to visit.